We will build a job that integrates MySQL database with Vizard. Workflow will be almost same for any other SQL database. We have a sample dataset of employee salaries that we will use for this tutorial. There are 3 tables. Salaries table that contains employee salary data. Department_employee table maps employee numbers to department numbers. And department table contains department names. We will join these 3 tables in Talend before sending data to Vizard. Let's create a job. Let's add 3 MySQL input components to the job area. Let's name them for clarity. We can configure MySQL connection parameters here or create a template in metadata that can be reused across many components and jobs. Let's create a database connection. Select the database of choice and enter the connection details. Let's check if Talend is able to connect to the configured database or not. Let's configure the MySQL component to use this connection that we have just created. We will configure the table name, SQL query, and let Talend fetch the schema. We will do this for all 3 tables. Let's limit the results to 2000 for testing purposes. Joining of tables can be done with the help of a component team app. Let's add it to the job area. Main table has to be connected to team app first and then remaining tables. Let's add output components now. The replicate will be useful if we want to send data to multiple outputs. We will write the output to a file in addition to sending it to Vizard. Let's add a file output component also. Set delimiter, check include header option and configure file location if necessary. Joining is configured using the map editor of team app, which can be opened by double-clicking team app component. Let's connect these 2 tables, and then these 2 tables also. Join conditions can be further configured here. This will have to be set to true for large data sets. Now, add output fields. Set format for any date fields. We can also use Talend functions here to transform, filter or inject new data. At this stage, you can test the output file to confirm if the data extraction from source and joining is as expected. Sending data to Vizard involves making a HTTP request to Vizard's REST API endpoint. Data will be sent in request body as a JSON string. To do that, let's add twrite JSON field and name it as to JSON. Add a field name string to the output schema. Vizard expects request body to be in this format, with application id under root and data rows and docs key. We will configure the JSON structure accordingly. Let's add a sub-element named docs. Add an attribute named class and set it as array. Let's also add a sub-element named element and set it as loop element. Add data fields to element. We will also inject some new fields that are needed to send data to Vizard. We will add that in tmap. Let's add two new fields named application ID and Vizard_counter. This function increments the value of Vizard counter by 1 every 1000 rows. This will help us send data in batches to Vizard. This is needed to limit the request body size of each request. Let's add these fields also to the output. Let's go back to tJSON component, set group by to be based on Vizard_counter. It will group all the rows that have same Vizard_counter into single JSON string, and let's add application ID to root. Select Remove Root Node option. Let's add a component for making requests to REST API of Vizard. We will also log the request body to a file for debugging. Configure the REST client. Set up headers in advanced settings. Unselect this option and select Drop JSON Request Route. Now, run the job. You can inspect the content of the file output to confirm if the request body is being sent as expected.